possible.
Before announcing the recipients of the Pat Coach Grasso Memorial Award, I'd like to give a brief Coach Grasso history lesson to you. After Coach's passing, and after many conversations with his family, his past students, and especially Margaret and Michael, his children, I came to realize a few things. Number one, there is no replacing Coach. Life will go on. Athletics at LCS will continue just as they did this year, and next year there will be a whole lot of many times that we'll be saying, well, this is the first time without Coach, but the events will go on. We'll be sad for quite a while to come, but I can hear Coach say, just get over it. Number two, I realize in knowing Pat Grasso for 39 years that there really have been three very distinct phases to his life. Phase number one, none of the students in this room know this phase. Perhaps their parents or their grandparents knew Pat Grasso the teacher and Pat Grasso the coach. Pat Grasso made a name for himself within a few short months of being here. The Pat Grasso who people would pay to come to a game to see him coach, now even watch the game. The Pat Grasso who would think nothing of grabbing a football player by the face mask to get his attention, and then turn right around and give that athlete his first pair of sneakers or cleats. The Pat Grasso who was winning a Tri-Valley basketball championship game that was being announced over the radio, and the announcer was wondering what words of wonder Coach was giving his players in the final timeout of the game. Do you want to know what Coach told me he was telling his players? If we win, we're going for pizza. I did not make that story up. I spent a lot of time with Coach. This was also the same Pat Grasso that his children and his wife did in his phase one. The same person to whom others would choose to be so verbally abusive that his wife chose to stop coming to games because she couldn't stand to see him treated so negatively. That's true. Then we enter phase two. From the outside looking in, this was the quiet phase of Coach's life. He had stopped coaching, he had retired from coaching, his children were grown up, he still was the athletic director, but people didn't notice too much that he wasn't quite so involved. His wife becomes very ill. During this phase, Coach took care of her daily. Very few know much about this time period. I don't know much about this time period. Margaret and Michael chose to share some of their memories with me, but they're quite private. Coach was very private, and he shared very little himself. I guess we should all have learned a lesson from Coach about true love and devotion that we never knew was happening right around us. Phase three. This phase begins when his wife passes. Coach fills his life with two things, his granddaughters and Lawrence Central School. All the students here tonight, every one of you, and most of the faculty, and most of the staff now working at the school, you only know phase three. You all know he loved to be here. He lived for athletic events. He even started coming to concerts and drama productions. And he started coming to color art shows. And for that was like amazing. Color art show. I'm telling you. And he loved talking to the children that were involved. It was all about the students for him. And that's how the recipients of this year's award were selected. The recipients of this year's award may not have known it before tonight, but Coach had a special concern for the two of you. There will be a male and there will be a female. He thought you were both fierce, spirited competitors in a game, and he spoke of you both to many other people. Taylor Kessler, Coach always respected your athletic talent. He respected the drive you had to win, the strength and dedication you brought to each team, and your competitive spirit. He did not always agree with your decisions. But he thought you were a great athlete and you were therefore deserving of this award. Congratulations. Anthony Monaco. Join us up front.
I knew it. What? Wow. I knew it.
Anthony, Coach had great respect for your athletic talent. More than that, however, he especially admired the efforts you made starting in junior high school to start making good decisions and to rise above everyone else's expectations. You should know that Coach had every hope for you to be successful in the years to come. I cannot tell you how many times Coach said to me personally, and you know he wants to be a doctor. That is so great. I also want you to know that Michael, Coach's son, who many of you don't know, but Michael was very moved by the time you took to text to him and speak to him, and I believe you even met with him and spoke with him after Coach's passing. You see, Michael was an athlete as well, and just like you, basketball was his favorite sport. Being Coach's son and being a good athlete in this tiny community of ours was not easy. You should know that the few times you reached out to Michael meant the world to him. You all should know that in the past months before his passing, Mr. Grasso reached out to his son, a lesson we should all learn, to mend some bridges that had been built over the years. You reached out to Michael. That meant the world to him, and I am sure that would have meant the world to Coach Grasso. And that's why you are deserving of this award. And as Coach said to us so many times that night, us meaning Steve and I, Steve West and I'm fine, let's go to the game. And I would say to you, we're all really fine. Let's go to the next LCS game, whenever and wherever it is. Thank you for a great